For those of you not watching live, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to the triumphant return of your favorite talk show, Waaaay Offsides. We took a little bit of time off. I'm still rocking the Halloween vibes.
Apparently you're a ghost.
I wore green.
Marty McFly better get his parents back together.
You guys just got to deal with it. Just deal with it.
Take the hoodie.
Somebody went in the timeline and interrupted your parents' meeting. Damn it, Chris. I told you to stop screwing the time machine.
How is everybody doing? We already got some roll tides in the chat.
Yeah.
Before we go any further, because we took some time off, I think we everybody's surprised that we're back tonight. And maybe they don't know. So we're relying on you, Waaaay Offsides family, to do your civic duty and go tell everybody we're live. So do the thing.
Everybody.
Do it.
Give us a thumbs up.
Now.
Subscribe, notification bell, like the video as well.
Let the boy watch.
Retweet. Go to YouTube and tell them, hey,
we want it now.
the greatest. Greatest might be a little bit of a stretch, but I'm going to stick with the word. The greatest college football show, and we talk about all things, but we're heavy on the Bama around these parts, is live, and you guys need to get in here. And Jeff already left.
No, we had this conversation a minute ago about cameras.
Do the hand thing.
It's okay, man. It's just technology. With me tonight,
They just do whatever. They just do whatever. There we go.
Fabulous, unfiltered Christopher, and then the ever so suave Jeff. You may be noticing that we're short a person. That is because while
prayers up for Bill.
is off defending your country's freedom in the Caribbean for some reason, or he will be soon. So he couldn't make it tonight. So we're going to be sure to make sure once Bill gets to his deployment station, you guys get an address so you can send him all the care packages.
Yes.
And we expect you to send him the stupidest things you can imagine.
He said they're using a lot of baby oil there.
Lots of it. Yeah,
Yes.
that's where they're keeping. It's where they're keeping Diddy. Roll Tide Tim, Roll Tide Jay. How's everybody doing? It's been a crazy, busy, hectic week. We won't go too deep into why, but I trust that each and every one of you who could and were eligible to casted your vote, did the right thing. Bill's mourning the election. I can guarantee you, Bill is not mourning the election. Bill is more than likely dealing with a hangover from celebrating the election.
Yes.
That's all we're going to say about that. I don't want to get too far into the weeds on the political stuff because that's not what you're here for.
No, the P word is not allowed here.
Yeah. Before we go any further, I was in there watching the Bengals and the Bills, or excuse me, the Ravens. I don't know why I said the Bills. Bengals and the Ravens. And Kirk Herbstreit is on the call.
You read my mind.
Yeah, man, I would be amiss if I did not just say, hey, the Waaaay Offsides family, you're in our hearts and prayers. A lot of you may not feel the same way, but for me, I've got a soft spot for dogs, especially a dog like that.
Preach.
And for those of you who don't know, Ben, who has been practically part of the Game Day cast for the last 2 seasons, suffering from cancer, and actually, I think it was on my birthday. He had a chemo treatment, and after that treatment, just started going downhill really quick. And Kurt posted a update today that sadly they had to put him down. So Ben has crossed the Rainbow Bridge and is doing dog stuff with Coach Bryant, I'm sure, up there. But yeah, seriously, our thoughts and prayers, man. We went through losing a pet literally the weekend we were moving down here to Florida, and it was the worst thing I've felt in a long time. So yeah, don't wish that on anybody.
Kirk, if you happen to come across this in your travels, dude, we love you, man. We love Ben. He was a big part of everybody's life that watched college football and followed college football and from afar, from all over. And we just appreciate Kirk letting him into our lives and then letting us love him from afar. So
definitely, man. Thank you for sharing him with us.
Up to the Herbstreit family, and we love Ben. We love you, Kirk, too. So
yeah, absolutely. All right, moving on. Guys, the college football season's almost over. It's come and gone so quickly.
Yep.
And the first college football poll is out. And so, Chad, I want to know, how are you feeling about the poll? How are you feeling about where Bama's positioned? Obviously, Bama's in a pretty solid position to where if they win out, they are likely going to be in the playoff. I'm a firm believer that all Alabama needs to do is make the playoff. I'm not worried about a national championship this year. If they do win one, fantastic, but I don't expect it.
Everybody's 0-0 when you get in. Just get in.
That's right.
Yeah, I just want them in. I don't care. I
think we're about to see some chaos in the SEC.
Well, people are eating each other alive. We have been all season, and it's probably going to continue.
Yeah, there's two games this weekend, and honestly, I think those games are make or break for all 4 teams involved.
Well, let's talk about them. Florida State.
Florida State's going to play spoiler now.
While we're talking about Florida teams, Billy Napier, I'm going to refer to him as Napier from now on.
Napier.
Yeah, Napier.
He will return to Gainesville next season.
I was way wrong on that.
We'll talk about that.
He would make it to week 6.
Well, they just want to see if he can do better in year 4 than Dan Mullen. So
I think he can, and we'll talk more. We'll dive more into that here in a little bit.
They were gonna beat Georgia Saturday.
Yeah,
Lagway stayed up.
Lagway they were gonna beat.
They
Georgia.
stayed in it with that third string quarterback was awful. I mean, oh my gosh, he was like 6 of 25 or something like that. Yep. I mean, he was brutal.
It was not good.
If they would have had anything there.
Big Ten underrated. overrated. Yeah, I mean, we've been saying that since the season started. That's typically what happens with the Big Ten. That's typically, now you've got Oregon in there. That's typically what happens with teams named Oregon and Ohio State.
True.
Last year, the Big Ten did win the national championship, but it's hard to respect it because, if anybody who's seen the documentary, there's a big ass blemish on that national title. But to Chris's point, big slate of games this weekend that's going to shake up the college football playoff picture. It's not going to end like it is.
Been bombs.
Say it again.
I said every weekend the last couple of weeks there's been bombs.
Yeah. There have been. And that goes to what we've been talking about. Look, the talent level across the board is more equal because of the transfer portal.
Yep.
I think in the SEC, outside of maybe two teams, anybody with the right quarterback playing could get anybody any given Saturday. And we've seen that all season.
You're 100%
yes, you're right.
And so we also mentioned, the level of coaching in this league is high level. I mean, there's not a lot of scrub coaches in this league.
Not anymore.
There's one a little ways up the interstate.
I want to talk about this comment right here.
Go for it. Talk about it.
If Ole Miss wins, I don't think it'll be a shock to many people.
I'm picking them.
I mean, Georgia has proven that they're not as good as Georgia's supposed to be.
They're not.
I don't think anybody is this year. Sorry, Mike.
Dude, we talked about that coming into this season. I said, and I know I've referenced this 1,000 times this season, that Georgia offensively is going to be a shell of itself compared to last year. They needed a running back, so they went and got ETN out of Florida. ETN wasn't blowing things up in Florida. The reason everybody was so hype about the dude was because they flipped a running back from a rival team.
Because his brother played in the NFL. Plays in the NFL. Yeah. That's what the hype was.
Yeah, and he played at Clemson during the Bama Clemson feud years. But then you go, you lose your best two offensive players, in my opinion. And so, although Georgia's got a fantastic defense, I think they have one of the best defense, if not the best defense in college football overall as a group. Offensively, I mean, they're mediocre. They're not that good. Carson Beck, if you can get any kind of pressure on that guy, he's wildly inaccurate. I've been yelling that for 12 months now.
Preach. I mean, some of those throws he was making against Florida, it's like, where are you throwing that? Like, what are you seeing to make you throw that ball? Because, I mean, he would right to the Florida guy, right in his chest.
Yeah. So that's one potential. That's one potential upset this weekend. You've got Florida, Texas is another. According to Billy Napier, it looks like DJ Lagway might be available for that game, contrary to what we thought when he went down in the Georgia game. Another potential upset, Miami, Georgia Tech. Don't close. Yeah, I get it. Cam Ward's legit, but don't sleep on Tech. One nobody's talking about.
Upset.
Doesn't really matter in the national picture as much as it did a few weeks ago. Clemson, Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
And then a sneaky good game Saturday that nobody's going to talk about, South Carolina and Vanderbilt.
Yep. It'll probably be the best game of the week.
Maybe. Maybe. I want to get your opinion, guys. Somebody asked me this. They sent me a private message in social media. Who do we want to win that game and why? South Carolina or Vanderbilt?
Vanderbilt.
That's what I said. I said
Vanderbilt every week.
Yep.
Yeah. I said the South Carolina already looks good because they've got that top 10 win, and we need to justify losing to Vanderbilt if you can.
Bingo.
Do that. And
Bingo.
Yeah. And
I think it's justified. I think it's justified already. Vanderbilt is 6-3.
Yeah.
That's justification already with multiple SEC wins and a legit.
They're bowl eligible.
Like there's no shame in losing to this Vanderbilt team, and that's a good coach. It's a shame he's going to be at a better school in the next year or two.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true, Lance. Notre Dame, but
all Notre Dame has to do is get bowl eligible, and they're in the playoffs. We already know this. They're 7-6. They're in the playoffs.
Bill,
the home game.
Bill, is Notre Dame off this weekend? I think they're off.
No, they play.
Who do they play? Florida State.
Duke,
yeah,
maybe Florida State. Okay.
They're winning that game.
Guess who's about to win 4 games in a row to end the season? The
Florida
Seminoles,
State.
and wreck some seeding and some rankings. They're going to play chaos maker in the last month.
That would be wild. Hey man, I'm here for it at this point.
Yeah.
As long as Alabama keeps winning.
Big Seminole fan now.
Yeah, let the chaos ensue, man. I want to see it all. You've got Washington, Penn State. That'll be an interesting one. Penn State's one of those teams that I feel like everybody's always kind of talking up. Everybody's very high on. And they never live up to that expectation. They're sitting right now at number 6 after that lost to Ohio State.
Yep.
I don't think they're a top 6 team, but we'll see what happens there. Washington definitely has the folks to beat them. We'll see if they're able to do it. I don't really see any other games of interest outside of Utah and BYU, which, spoiler alert, I might take the Utes. We'll see. I think somebody else said, there we go. Yeah, Lance is with me. Yeah, Lance. I might be with you on this. We'll see at the end
Where
of the show.
Where is that game? Is that game in Utah?
They played in Utah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in Utah.
Yep. Yeah.
No matter where they played, it'd be in Utah, but technically. But
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're kind of right. So, but the headliner, the big one, the granddaddy of them all, I'm just kidding. This game has lost a little luster this year, but it will be.
Jeez, Lance firing shots.
Hard. The game of the week will be your number 11 Alabama Crimson Tide head over to Baton Rouge to take on the number 14 LSU Tigers, who will have a live Tiger on the sideline.
Yeah.
First time since 2015.
But here's the thing, it's not Mike the Tiger.
No,
they're renting a tiger from a third-party vendor because LSU won't allow.
This is one of those things that can get out of hand quick.
Right?
Going to the circus and what? Like
the governor, the mayor, or whoever wanted a live tiger in for this game, so they rented one.
Who are the? It's like this is gonna be like Siegfried and Roy, man, over in.
Billy Bob from down in the swamp said, "I got a tiger."
I got me a tiger,
and he just went to the zoo and got one.
100%. That's what happened.
Speaking of animals, this is totally off topic. But did you guys see the 40+ monkeys that escaped from the bio lab in South Carolina?
I did see that. Planet of the Apes is unfolding before our eyes. You damn dirty ape!
And they say that they tried to use traps and they will not get it on.
They're monkeys. They're smart, man.
Yeah.
Caesar, you gotta watch out for Caesar, man.
Yeah. One of them's name is Caesar. We're in trouble.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I did not hear about that though, but yes.
It happened yesterday or today, one of the two.
Yeah, man.
And
they literally were telling people like, lock your doors, secure your homes. If you see a monkey, call the police.
That's it. I mean, you know what I do if I see a monkey outside?
Yeah, no worries there, Lance.
I'm getting bit.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna mess with it. I'm like, come here, buddy.
Depends on the size. If it's one of the 280-pound ones that look like chiseled out of brick, I may let that one roll on past.
I'll go out with a payday bar or something. Be like, hey, buddy.
Chimpanzees are cute till they're eating.
He peels you like a banana.
There's a show on, I can't remember, but it's done by the producers of Tiger King, which was phenomenal. I'm convinced that
I don't know how it didn't win an Oscar.
The Tiger King show saved a lot of lives during COVID.
It did. It really did.
It saved money.
Some of us have still not financially recovered from this.
Dude, imagine owning a zoo. Somebody's arm gets bit off. Your first instinct is to grab your EMT jacket. And then you come in and you're in your own gift shop. There's horrified children everywhere, and you're like, I'm never going to financially recover. That's what you're concerned about.
I call for help.
Oh gosh!
Somebody got their arm bit off on that show.
Yeah, man, Tiger King.
Yeah.
Have you watched Tiger King?
I watched the first like two or three episodes. And it was like,
well, the producer
not into it. So
have you watched The Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia?
Oh, that's way worse.
Hell no.
Yeah.
Why would I ever watch anything with a name that long? Come on, you checked out after the fourth word.
Pardon him, Lance. or actually keep that dude in jail.
Yeah, isn't he in prison for murder or something?
Well, it's something, I don't know what it is.
And that person kept working there with the Tigers with one arm.
And and he had a guy that didn't have no legs.
It was
a Dane.
It was horrible, man.
And feeding them.
They went and got like. Do you remember they went and got like in the dumpster to get old food to feed the Tigers, old meat? One of the guys
they were feeding it to the workers too.
There's three things that everybody in America needs to watch: Tiger King, Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia, and the documentary on the family from Kentucky or West Virginia. You know which one I'm talking about. I can't remember their names.
No, man.
You know.
Okay, well,
just watch The Wire and enjoy what you're watching.
So the folks that made Tiger King made another show.
Yeah.
And it's called Chimp Crazy.
Really?
And they go undercover and they actually get this guy to act as their proxy, an old circus performer.
From Gibsonton, Florida, probably.
I think you're right, actually. And he embeds himself with this family of people who own chimpanzees that PETA is and Alan Cumming are fighting. And they win in court to have these apes moved to a safer place in Florida. And the lady tells a federal judge and PETA that this one ape that was an actor died. Well, it turns out he didn't. Spoiler alert, the ape is actually hiding in her basement. It's wild, man. It's crazy. Yeah, Jay, the Whitakers. That's it, Chris.
That's it, the Whitakers.
But anyway, we need to get back on track.
Yeah, we do. I saw someone mentioned the little bit of Deuce Knight drama that I kind of.
Well, you know what?
Well, I know he took all the stuff off of social media.
Well, let's do this.
Yeah, he did.
What's
the time for?
The weekly recruiting roundup.
Oh. What?
Oh, there's no buffer for that.
There's nothing
in there for that.
There's no music, no sound effects.
What do you want? Like some Western guitar and a tumbleweed to go across the screen?
If anyone's looking for a job as a producer, we're looking.
All right, there it is. There it was. That was the buffer.
I was like, what happened?
There's our buffer.
That really looked like
there we go. We needed something.
It did, yeah. Yeah, it looked like we was about to watch Moana or something, man.
Yeah.
No, we needed something there. There we go. There's our buffer.
All right, here we go. Recruiting. We'll start with Alabama. Guys, Alabama's going to lose a couple of players. I'm going to predict it now.
Don't you dare say it. Don't you dare say his name.
Gone.
Okay.
Turbo's gone.
Yeah, we've thought that for a while.
Now,
really, since AK Deer committed, he was kind of
I've been calling
going to be
Turbo gone for a while. Yeah. I feel like that's happening. I will also say that, and this one might sting, that Alabama is at risk. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but Alabama is at risk of losing Caleb Cunningham. He has visited Ole Miss multiple times. He is going back this weekend. We'll see what happens. He could. I mean, it's hard. Well, here's why I'm saying what I'm saying. Let me put this out there. It's easy to justify him going because he's from Mississippi. A lot of guys that he's friends with are going to be at that Ole Miss game, but he's going to back-to-back, not back-to-back visits, but his last two visits have been to Ole Miss. We tell you guys all the time when you're trying to figure out what's going on with those recruits is you follow the visits. Does that mean he's going to flip his commitment? No. Everything is still pointing. He follows me on socials. Everything is still pointing.
I don't know why.
Alabama. That's a good question. I don't know how that happened. And we'll see. We'll see if it sticks, if that commitment sticks. A lot of bigger recruiting agencies are saying that they feel like this is one that's still going to go down to the wire. I think with Kalen DeBoer and what he brings offensively, what we're seeing with this team, I feel like is maybe a little handicapped and limited. And that playbook is not going to open all the way up until next season. Once you get a guy in there, maybe it's Austin Mack, Ty Simpson, or maybe even Keelan Russell comes in, who shut down his recruitment and is not taking any visits anywhere else.
That's right.
And he is also actively trying to keep Caleb Cunningham in Tuscaloosa. So is AK Deer. But J-Bake may be right. He may just be milking Ole Miss for money because I'm pretty sure they're paying for these visits.
Yes. He's playing the game just like he should.
What's up, K-Spray? Roll Tide. Yeah, but that's the thing. But I'm just saying, don't be surprised if it happens. But Alabama has now turned their attention to 3-star running back out of Lansing, Michigan.
Yep.
I'm going to butcher this kid's name here, and that is Jace Clarizio.
I just call him Chorizo.
Jace Chorizo. That's what we'll call him. Now, here's the thing with this Jace kid. He started off as a 3-star, but he has been blowing it up his senior year.
Yep.
I believe he's way on down there in terms of running back, but he's one of these guys that might be a diamond in the rough.
You know who else didn't get any attention until their senior season?
Go ahead, because this is the comparison I have in mind. I know exactly what you're about to say.
Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, he reminds me a lot of Josh Jacobs.
Yep.
A lot. And so, assuming that Turbo Rogers does flip his commitment, if I had to guess, it would be to Ohio State. That is the guy. What's that, Red? That's the guy that Bama's going to go after. They've offered him. I believe he's going to visit this weekend. So we'll see what happens there. Bama's going to lose a couple of guys, but I will say, feels it in his nuggets. Chris says feels it in his nuggets. So, but I will say, keep an eye on Cunningham. We'll see what happens. Alabama is going to do everything they can to keep that guy. So, and if not, then they'll go get somebody out of the portal. There are some other players who are currently decommitting from places, i.e. Florida State, big-time linebacker decommitted there earlier. Going to want to keep an eye on that. Alabama is still pushing hard for Ivan Taylor, who I still think could flip his commitment to Alabama. That safety position, that's a place that Bama really wants to shore up, that safety position. I think Alabama will finish with either number 2 or number 3 in this class, which is amazing considering what's happened, in terms of losing Nick Saban and then all the exits and this and that. But what's going to be interesting is to see, once these guys get on campus, what the retention looks like of our current roster and how we supplement that roster with the transfer portal. And once Kalen DeBoer and Shep and Nick Sheridan, assuming all these guys stay, get these pieces of the puzzle where they're supposed to be, that offensive product next season should be better than this year. And then we all know what the defense is going to look like next year. It could be a very good 2025 for Alabama football. I'm excited, man. I'm really excited.
It all hinges on the most important position in all of sports. And if the guy that's bottlenecking the growth of the offense is still bottlenecking the growth of the offense, that's going to be a problem. I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't have anything to confirm that, just my gut. But this cannot grow. This offense cannot develop and grow with a limited quarterback, and that's where we're at now.
Sure. Here's something I've noticed. And we talk about Jalen Milroe a lot.
I can't even think about that, Red. I can't even.
Yeah, he could, but I've got a feeling if he does, they're going to tell him.
That's my thought, is respectfully, you got one more year to play. You probably better play in an offense more suited to your strength type conversation.
Yeah. Lance, we've got the big man. His name is Caleb Odom. We're just not using him right now for some reason. Yeah. We have a burner. His name is Ryan Williams. The problem is he's being doubled up every game.
You know why we're using him? It starts at the point, the trigger man.
Yeah.
Yep.
So here's the thing about Jalen Milroe that I think I've come to a conclusion. I think Milroe, I have some suspicions, but I won't share these on here. You guys know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
But I think Jalen Milroe might be an overthinker. I don't know where that stems from, but I think he is at his best when he is not being coached on what to do every play. If you watch Milroe when he plays freely, like he did against Georgia, that's the Jalen Milroe that we all expected to see all season long. when coordinators and coaches start getting very technical with Milroe, when they're coaching him up a lot on the sidelines, it's almost like it gets in his head and it's just too much information. He can't process it, and it reflects on the field. You could see it. And so what does he do? He just shits down to his first option, whether it's covered up or not. And that's happened a lot.
They've got him doing his checkdowns in reverse.
Mm-hmm.
He's
really
running back first, and instead of read running back check down, he's looking at his check down first. I saw that on the breakdown of the South Carolina game by the unofficial UA coaches.
Speed. Shout out down. Coach Doe.
Yes, go Doe, baby. That's the best breakdowns going. But he pointed that out in that video that he was reversed his reads, or reversed his checkdowns. It was interesting watching it, but when he throws to the running backs, good things happen.
Yeah, it does. Sigma, no, I don't think Jalen Milroe is stupid. I think he's over analytical. And then he reminds me emotionally a lot of Anthony Richardson when he was at Florida. I saw Anthony Richardson live a couple of times. Richardson was the kind of quarterback, he had all the God-given talent somebody needs to succeed at that position. That's why, despite what he did in college, he still went in the first round in the draft. But he was the kind of guy that if something did not happen the way it was drawn up for him, he could not overcome that mentally and emotionally. And you would see it in his body language on the sideline. I think Milroe is very similar to that. I don't think it's a football IQ question. I really don't think it's a talent question. I think it's up here. I do. And I kind of sympathize with that because I'm over analytical about a lot of things. Chris could give me a job. Hey, I need you to do this week. And I'm going to be like, okay, should I do it this way? What if I do it this way? This could happen, man. Or if I do it like this could happen, or that could happen. And Chris is like, bro, just take the garbage out. That's all I asked you to do. So, well, what's garbage? All of it? Just this bag, that bag? What can? Do you want me to take it out right now? Should I take it out in the morning? Should I?
Just take yourself out.
Yeah. Is this plate garbage? I like this plate. You may think it's garbage, but I like this plate. I don't want to hurt your feelings. So I think Jalen Milroe is a lot like that. I think he's like that on the field. And that's why I'm saying if he's not overly coached, and he's able to kind of play free, that's when he performs better. And look to me like that's what happened against Missouri. Just saying.
I mean, you're not wrong.
You're not wrong at all.
The problem is they can't get him to do that because his first reaction is to go backwards. When things get hairy, his first instinct is to go this way.
Think he's playing scary?
No, I just think he thinks he's a passer, and so he goes this way so he can
get like trying to drop. Yeah, I got
instead of going this way and saying 1, 2, it's over, I'm out.
I couldn't. But the thing is, there's a lot of. You go back and watch film. There's a lot of him. He had pressure coming, off the left side, and all he needed to do was step up in the pocket 2 or 3 seconds and make a decision. Instead, what does he do? Every time he feels pressure, he drops back and rolls right. And guess what? Every single defense knows that, and they're going to eat him up.
Well, Bryce used to do that for a little while, and then they kind of corrected it. But that's how defenses started figuring out Bryce Young for a while there. And so,
but then Bryce figured out, Bryce would give you that shoulder duck, and you'd go flying by, and then he'd step two steps up. And even he didn't run like he should have, but he would step 2 steps up to throw. But Millie, he goes backwards, and it's infuriating. You can't go backwards. Nothing good will ever come if you go backwards. The guys always try to run reverses, or they get scrambled and they try to outrun them going backwards. Jalen Waddle Sunday tried it and had like a 40-yard loss, and it lost somebody like 10K in a very bad beat. They had Tua at like 243 plus. It was like a 30-yard loss on the pass play, and he wound up losing them.
You mentioned Bryce Young. Let me give a shout out to Bryce Young for getting the head coach of the New Orleans Saints fired this week.
Yeah,
yes, he did.
Kirby's on their short list.
Fired 6 games ago, but
Kirby is on their short list.
He is on the short list.
Lance's comment here about rolling him out. The problem is he don't throw on the run. No. You never see him roll out and throw on the run. That's something I've noticed.
He's too big, man.
He's not a roll out and throw it guy. He's a roll out and take off guy.
Well, hey, look, we still got
to do more.
we got a lot of analyzing to go, but we still got this graphic up here. So we need to get back on track, because I know Chris. We've talked about Alabama recruiting. What's going on there? Alabama is being Alabama on the recruiting trail. There's not much to worry about.
But hey, we've only got what, another less than a month. When is signing day? December 4th, early signing day.
Yeah, we're almost there.
Okay, so we're less than a month.
Yeah, it's going to get really hairy though. For some
if I'm not mistaken, they can sign November 13th if they want to.
Maybe. All right, but Chris, you've made some observations that people in the chat are already asking about. I would like to give you the floor to discuss those observations. Your thoughts, if they're legit or if you're trolling.
Not really. I don't remember what day it happened. Maybe it was Thursday. No, today's Thursday. Hell, maybe it was Tuesday. Deuce Knight took down anything. Of course, he couldn't delete the pictures, but everything in his bio on Instagram that has anything to say or do with Auburn University. Well, just after that, Henderson tweeted a thinking emoji and a little cloud shit that shows your thoughts. And then about 12 hours after that, he retweeted a tweet Hayes Fawcett made talking about, 4 or 5 weeks to early signing day, a lot of flipping, a lot of decommitments. And he quoted it, and he said that this man knows what's up, and with a handshake. So maybe we're reading into it too much. Maybe they're trolling, but I think the planes are burning, if you ask me. I think it's over with.
Well, where there's smoke, there's fire.
We'll see. Man, if they don't close on Deuce Knight, they're kind of screwed, big time. They're gonna have to go get a portal.
Whiff on him now. I mean, he's the starting quarterback already for next year.
Hawk Tua, welcome back.
I mean, look at what's happening in Auburn right now.
They suck. They're one of those two teams that I mentioned earlier that can't beat anybody any given Saturday.
They said Jimmy Raines was in the press conference. They said Jimmy Raines was at the post-game press conference this past weekend, and they said he's never there. So, just saying. Are they
trying to get rid of Freeze? They can't get rid of Freeze with this class.
No, man. Come on. This is a 4-year rebuild.
I can tell you this. If they don't stick Henderson and Knight, I have a feeling Freeze will resign and step down.
Yeah, he may resign. Yes, he could. That could.
I mean, anybody can give him a bag and say, "Here, leave with your dignity."
Well, if Deuce comes back on the board, somebody's going to go after him. Somebody will go after him. It may not be in the SEC, but somebody will.
He'll get a job. Oh yeah, he'll get a job easy.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's already been said.
Saban has kept him employed for a decade.
Yeah, Portland. Well, we're talking about
beating Saban twice.
Eric, the short answer to this question, why can't we flip a couple of Auburn guys, is because Auburn is promising large sums of money to people, and it's money that they're not worth. Well, Alabama is being a little bit more strategic about their NIL. Auburn, I mean, I'm just going to say it, and this is not going to make Alabama fans happy, but it is the truth. It is factual. Auburn has more NIL money than Alabama does. They have more money to play around with because they have better boosters. But here's the thing: Alabama is much more selective in terms of how they're utilizing their NIL. I'm not saying Alabama's not paying a bunch of dudes, because we definitely are. But a lot of the people that Auburn is paying, they're overpaying for guys to win a national championship. They're selling their souls, and we've seen with multiple teams this season, that doesn't work to be competitive for a natty, especially long term. So we'll see what happens, but it's going to be really hard to overcome. How many wins do they have in conference? One.
But my point is that these recruits see this, and they can look at it one of two ways. This is a dumpster fire program, or I'm already the best receiver and I'm not even there yet. So the minute I walk on campus, I'm wide receiver 1 or I'm RB1, or for Deuce Knight's case, QB1. Right now, wherever he's sitting, he knows he's the best quarterback on Auburn's team. And now, is Hugh the genius that everybody thinks he is because he beat Saban back-to-back years and almost beat him? No,
that's his claim to fame, dude.
He's so overrated. Look at his SEC record, overall SEC record.
Yeah, and if you go watch these, if you go, it's very similar to a Gus Malzahn, maybe worse than Gus Malzahn now. Yeah, but if you go check out these boards,
off what Eric said, why can't we flip any? I think the reason is because some of these guys don't want to compete. Some of them want to go where they can walk in and be in the top 3 depth chart. And at Alabama, you cannot do that. Yeah. You got to get there and you got to earn your keep and earn your spot on the field. And I think at Auburn right now, there's so much open. There's going to be so much open competition just because they've been so terrible for 2 years. Harsin left that cupboard less than bare. Yeah, and it's a 4-year. I think it's a 4-year rebuild. And who was these guys can come on like Bama in 08. You know, Bama played a bunch of freshmen in 08 because they were already the best players on the team. I think it's going to be maybe not players that good next year for Auburn, but I think it's going to be a similar situation of incoming guys are already better than what they got.
That's fair. And I mean, look, you heard it from the horse's mouth. I don't know if you guys have seen the text thread, but Deuce Knight was literally talking about Auburn and like how terrible they are, and that the only thing Hugh Freeze has really taught to him about is money. And so that's how they're buying these kids, and that's fine. If that's how they want to approach it, it's legal. They can do what they want. It's not a bad thing. I just personally don't think it equals long-term success. Jimbo Fisher's a great example of that. Florida State this year is a great example of that. Yep. And then Hugh Freeze is not the head coach everybody wants him to be for some damn reason.
Not at all.
And so you can have all the talent in the world, but if you can't develop the talent, first of all, what gets guys to come to your school outside of NIL money? What gets guys to commit to your school? Putting dudes in the draft. That's still important.
Playing time and NFL draft picks.
Yeah, to do that, you have to develop players. Hugh Freeze, it doesn't have a strong track record of that. He doesn't.
Nope. None at all. He doesn't.
This is interesting. This is interesting here. That's not.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised. You know, we talked about the potential. You know, there are so many people gunning after like a Caleb Cunningham. If we were to lose a 5-star like that, I wouldn't be surprised. You got to think Ryan Williams is probably very close with both of those guys, and so I'm sure there's some chirping, and we know there's tampering going on, and it may not be legitimate tampering, but these players talk to each other. They've all played together for years, decades, even some of them, or at least a decade. They know each other. They talk, and so I wouldn't be surprised if Keelan Russell is in contact with these kids, or Ryan Williams, or hell, maybe even a Jalen Milroe or somebody like that going, hey, come on over. We'll see. It'll be interesting because I do think Auburn's going to lose a lot of their current talent. And I think this is going to really piss off Auburn fans, but I think they're going to lose a lot of their defensive talent to the portal once the season wraps up. Because I'll say this, Auburn's defense is really good. Yeah. Really, really good. They've got some NFL guys on the defense, and they're not going to stay there not making bowl games. I mean, those guys aren't going to want to play there. And you've got too many guys. You got, to Jeff's point earlier, you've got too many good coaches and too many good teams in the SEC now. Alabama, LSU, Tennessee, Georgia, Texas A&M, South Carolina's on the up and up. Vanderbilt. All those teams are better than Auburn. All of them. Better coaches
Every
too.
one of them.
So, what's up, Bama girl? How you doing?
Yeah, Bama girl.
There's the potential for some crazy flips to happen. We'll see what happens. I don't have any inside word on anything regarding Cam Coleman or Perry Thompson.
No.
I'd be interested to see what other people in the chat thought. Like, if they were wanting to flip to Alabama, would you want them? They spurned Alabama in the first place. I think Alabama fans kind of have to shift their mentality on that, because you're going to see a lot of rivalry flips.
I'm just about to say that. You can't take any of this personal. They're going to be they're going to do this a lot.
Hey, I mean, look at
now.
Who was it? Who was it that had the Auburn tattoo that flipped to Bama?
Reuben Foster.
Reuben, that's right. It was Reuben.
Ferrari Foster, man.
Probably Auburn. They just have better players.
It depends. It depends. If they played 9 times out of 9 times, Auburn will win.
Sure did.
Yeah.
I'd just like to note that Bray Hubbard has the same amount of tackles as Caleb Downs.
He does.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
White boy DBs, man. I'm here for it.
Caleb Downs went from 100 tackles last year to like 15 this year.
That's crazy.
I got me a Bray Hubbard helmet the other day.
Me too.
Why? Did he transfer to a defense where he could make no plays?
Who?
Caleb Downs.
He did something.
Excuse me. He looked pretty good against Penn State. I think he had a couple of solo tackles. I think he had that one big tackle on 4th down, or maybe it was a goal line stand. But I will say something very interesting. I've watched Ohio State
off the screen last year,
and people are starting to talk about it. Ohio State secondary gets away with a lot.
Yeah, they do.
A whole lot. And Caleb Downs is very, very handsy this year.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Walker, we'll see, man. But anyway, we got a big slate of games, like I said, highlighted by Alabama, LSU. And I'll be honest, right now, today, sitting here, I don't really know how I feel about this game. Alabama traditionally plays pretty well in Baton Rouge. I believe we have a winning record there. Kalen DeBoer does not. He's yet to play.
Well, let me speak some facts about this LSU Bama matchup.
Give it to me, baby.
In election years.
Oh hell, here we go. Go ahead. I know where this is going.
Every year, and I'm not bringing politics into it. I'm not supporting either side. What I'm saying is every year that they have played, every election year, when the Democrats put a president in office, guess who wins?
Bama.
Yep. When they put a Republican in office, guess who wins?
Bama. I'm just kidding.
LSU. except in 2020.
That was a weird year anyway.
No, was it? No, not 2016.
That was not so weird.
The Democrats had majority
vote.
Is
that the Mettenberger game?
I think so. Where he's crawling off the field.
Are we beautiful? Busted his ass. Yeah.
Chris.
But there's going to be keys to this game for Bama to win it.
Well, I want to get into that, or unless you've got some keys.
Oh, I got some keys. The front seven's going to have to be tough.
Well, there you go. To Eric's point, this game's going to be won in the trenches. Most
our front seven on defense is going to have to make Nussmeier move around.
We're going to have to score more points than them, or there's really or we're going to be in trouble.
Yep, it's true.
Yep.
The keys of the game is Milroe's right leg and Milroe's left leg. That's the two keys of the game.
Well, I do like what Chris said. Well, let's look at it defensively. I do like what Chris just said. We're going to have to move Nussmeier. You can't leave that dude. Is a very crisp pocket passer. You
leave him in the pocket. He's going to burn everybody.
If we let Kyron Lacey loose over the top, we are in big trouble.
Yeah.
Kyron Lacey's running down the field 3-4 yards clear.
It's over with.
Insert young cornerback's name here. Then we're in deep trouble because Nussmeier don't be overthrowing those guys by 6 yards.
No, not at all.
It feels a lot like the Tennessee game 2 seasons ago, where Alabama, you feel like they should win on paper, but the deeper you dive into the game, you're like, it might not be as easy as we think.
That's that number 86, that the receiver is number 86. I think his last name may be Taylor. He's a big guy.
Yes.
Our guys are tight end. Mason Taylor.
That's him. Our guys are not going to. Yeah, they're not going to beat him one-on-one.
Yeah, he's the one that ran out of bounds and or he did something caught a pass 2 years ago. Then he caught the winning pass in overtime, but he did something at the end of the game where he stepped out of bounds or something, or maybe that was I can't remember. I may be getting my years confused, but I thought Taylor did something and they awarded him a catch even though it wasn't.
Well, here let me go over some numbers.
Oh Lord, please no. Anytime he trots on the field, Lance, I get heart palpitations.
We'll put them on our taser list too. Got some numbers. Alabama currently ranks 42 overall in total defense.
Mm-hmm.
You guys want to take a shot at LSU higher or lower? Lower being worse, higher being better.
Worse.
Lower.
They are. The LSU sits at 58. Not much of a difference in terms of total yardage per game. Really, they're kind of neck and neck. On the other side of the ball, LSU ranks 21 in total offense. Alabama, lower or higher?
Lower.
Jeff?
Higher.
They're actually lower. Alabama sits at number 37. Again, same kind of thing. There's not a huge jump between 27 and 37.
No.
Now, here's something I want to point out. And this doesn't always mean anything, but if we look at common opponents, both teams have only played one. That is South Carolina. Alabama squeezed out a home win. This was an 11 o'clock game, 27-25, but they gave up almost 400 yards of offense. Now, here's the thing. South Carolina was, Sellers is a mobile quarterback. Nussmeier, not so much. Alabama should be able to tee off against this guy, especially with 2 weeks to prepare. LSU, although they had a much higher offensive output than Alabama did, they didn't fare much better against South Carolina defensively. Now, in watching the two units from week 1 to what week are we on now? 10? Is this week 10?
This is week 9. 10.
No.
Week whatever.
Because we've had 2 bye weeks. We're 6-2 and had 2 bye weeks.
Week whatever. No, watching the two units, I will say it does look like, especially over the past 3 weeks, Alabama's defensive unit has gotten better every week. They are getting better. LSU, not so much. LSU, I think, looked really good at the start of the year. LSU has been one of those teams where you've been like, if they can put it together defensively, they're going to be scary good, especially with Jalen Daniels. It didn't work out. Jalen Milroe torched him on the ground last year. But I think that we're starting to see that defense is still pretty similar to what it was last season. So, to Jeff's point, the X factor being Jalen Milroe's right and left leg. And I said Alabama's seen defensive progression over the last 3 weeks, while LSU has done a pretty good job all season. They held Ole Miss under 30. However, against a legit running quarterback, LSU struggled heavily against Texas A&M.
Bingo. There's the blueprint.
Right, yes. Making Jalen Milroe a must-have on the ground for Alabama. Does Bama run Jalen Milroe in this game?
Put somebody on 40. The linebacker Weeks for LSU, put somebody on him, put a hat on him, and it's open season. Milroe can run for days if he's not trying to be Drew Brees.
Now, do you think, do you think the coaches play Milroe a little scared? Like if he gets dinged up, he's got to sit for a couple of weeks, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. What does that look like for Alabama? Alabama has, after this game, they have Mercer at Oklahoma, and then Auburn comes to Tuscaloosa for the Iron Bowl. I think Alabama could win all 3 of those games without Jalen Milroe starting at quarterback. I think those games are winnable. I think Auburn will play Alabama close because it's the Iron Bowl, but I think ultimately talent will wait out towards the end of that game. And
now,
Bama will win. Yeah.
The Iron Bowl in Tuscaloosa is much different than the Iron Bowl at Jordan-Hare. Much different. Go back and look outside of the comeback. If you go back and look at the scores of the games in Tuscaloosa, the margin of victory by Alabama is much, much higher than the games in Jordan-Hare.
Yeah, as it should be. Yeah, as it should be.
Now, I know Hugh's been preparing for this game since week 2, but I think that if Hugh's smart, he'll run Jarquez Hunter 45 times in that game.
That's going to be the plan. Keep Alabama's offense off the field, pick up first downs. Does Alabama have the beef? We'll get there later.
This game should not be close. We should slaughter this crusty ass team, which is why last year's game made me so mad because it's like,
and the year before,
crappy team. Let's slaughter them, and no, we got to throw a Hail Mary on 4th down to win on the road, just like 2 years ago with Bryce Young. Got to go 90 yards because we had 3 points at that point in the game. It's like, and then Mac Jones only one that lit up that team, and he had one bounce off the back of somebody's helmet directly into a guy's hands for a pick 6.
Yeah,
and it's just like, come on now. But normal stuff happens in Bryant-Denny other than the comeback.
Now, let's go back to LSU really quick. I don't want anybody to think that we're saying that LSU is not a good football team. I think LSU is a very good middle of the pack SEC team. I think LSU, like a lot of other SEC teams, could beat some of the big guys any given Saturday. I think Alabama is bipolar. I think we've seen Alabama at their best. And I'm trying not to be biased when I say this. If Alabama can play 4 quarters of football like they did that half against Georgia, they're by far the best team in the country, and it's not close. Nope. Not even a little.
Not at all. That's gone. Like, we're not hitting that again.
Yeah, but there's
exactly. Been 4 games since then, and we've seen nothing near that.
You started to see it a little bit against Missouri at home. Alabama has not played well on the road outside of Wisconsin this year. Both trips to Tennessee were miserable losses. Alabama had no business losing to Vanderbilt or Tennessee, but they did on the road. Vanderbilt, I think, played Alabama tougher than Tennessee did.
I'd say Vanderbilt beat us. They had the ball for 45 minutes.
Yeah, Alabama beat themselves against Tennessee.
That was an ass whipping. Tennessee, we left about 28 points on the field.
Yeah, exactly. So
just off Milroe's bad throws.
What do you get with that crowd, that environment? You know,
it's going to be louder in Tennessee. Baton Rouge at night is way harder than Tennessee.
And they're going to have this tiger on the sidelines growling. So
they can't send Milroe to the line to make 26 calls and checks.
And have those
clocks winding down with that noise. They can't do that again.
Linemen down in a stance for 30 seconds. Yeah.
Yes, and while you can't hear anything, and he's barking all these calls and has to hike the ball with 1 second left, which is, as we know, the defense tees off when it gets down that low because they know they can go. It's almost like telling them when they can take off. If you wait till it gets down that far, it's like when we want to bleed clock. We're going no huddle and snapping it with 20 seconds. But when we're needing to get into some rhythm, we're standing there barking out all these checks and calls and protections and all this stuff as the clock's winding down for 35 seconds. And then we got to hurry snap it, and it's a 1 yard gain up the middle.
Correct me if I'm wrong. We ran a hurry up that first half against Georgia, didn't we? We were going pretty quick in between plays, and that's kind of what kept their defense off kilter. And then in the second half, we slowed it down, trying to preserve the lead. That's why everybody kind of felt like we took our foot off the gas. But Alabama has come out and scored quick. If Alabama comes out and they take the possession, or that LSU defers to Alabama, and they go 3 and out on that first drive, that is going to be hard to overcome.
They're going to pass on first down.
And we have to control the clock.
Y'all, listen to me now. The first play of the game will be a pass play. You can friggin' it. Yeah, we did lead 10 points in the field versus Vandy. You're right. But it's hard to say that Vandy got lucky when they hung 40 and had the ball for 45 minutes.
Yeah, and we couldn't stop them. We couldn't stop Pavia anytime.
Couldn't stop anybody.
Pavia is the real deal. People can make fun of us for losing to Vandy all they want to. That is that is not Vanderbilt football.
If Jalen could play like Pavia, if he has to improvise, that's the difference in the two. Is you see what Pavia does when he has to improvise.
Yeah, and
it's way different than when Millie does, and that's the thing. If we could get Millie to be able to improvise like that, he's way more explosive than Pavia ever thought about being.
Quarterbacks in recent history that had to improvise, who was the best?
Bryce Young.
Bingo.
Yep.
Bryce Young.
And he got even better in the clutch moments. He was even better.
That's true.
The Georgia championship game, national championship game, notwithstanding, when you're down to your third, fourth, fifth receivers, and he's going airmail at the end of the game, just trying to, try something. We ended up not having the best game, but he put a lot of balls on the money in that game that did not get caught.
Yeah, but he had a beautiful game 4 weeks before that in Atlanta.
Yep.
And Tua, Tua was pretty good at it too. I think everybody remembers that play where he came off the bench in the Vandy game and threw that touchdown. Oh my gosh, should have taken a sack and threw that one touchdown. It was beautiful.
Dude, it's like, I love the Nick Tater, but like Tua should have started long before the second half of that national championship game.
Yeah, he should have. But I get it. Nick Saban.
That supports my argument that Saban threw the 17 Iron Bowl in Jordan-Hare, but we can do a whole show on that.
It's possible. Well, guys, we're an hour in. I think it's time we do some picks and close this out and get ready for some football. Our receivers need hunting red gloves. Wait a minute, he sees them. Lance has been dragging Noro in the chat the whole show.
I say Lance has been firing bombs. It's been hilarious.
All right, Chris.
They can just wave at him. You know how he waves at people.
We need a big game from the right side of the offensive line too.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
They've been struggling recently.
LSU definitely has a pass rush, so that's something.
Yes, they do.
They were not. They were not super effective the second half of the A&M game, but that first half they were getting after Wiggum or Wigman or whatever the hell
they were.
All right,
until what's his name came in and started running. That negated the pass rush.
Yep.
Yeah. And then you go crap.
I would love that.
SEC,
I don't know if we can hold them at 12.
More.
Romance at Reindeer Lodge.
That's Christmas Hallmark movies.
On the Hallmark. There you go.
All right, guys, come on. Let's take Lance's advice and wrap up. Terrible movie.
All right, first game on the menu this week.
Lance needs to come on the show.
Yeah, he does. Miami at Georgia Tech. Miami, it is 11 a.m. kickoff. Miami is favored by 11.
It's an 11 a.m. kickoff. It's at Tech.
Yep.
Yeah, give me Miami. I don't think the U is back just yet. I think they're going to get smoked in the playoffs.
Yes.
But I do think Miami is one of the top 10 teams in the country.
I'm going with the U.
They're going to lose, but they're not going to run the table in the regular season. I think they're going to lose one of these last four.
Yeah, they're going to
I don't think it's going to be Saturday.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been behind like the last 4 games in a row, and then they end up winning by 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have.
All right, give me Miami. I'm going to stick with it, even though Tech beat
I'll take Miami.
Florida State, but so is everybody else.
All right, 11 a.m. kickoff. Florida at Texas. Texas favored by 22.5.
I think this game's going to be closer than everybody thinks. I think DJ Lagway will play. I think Florida loses by probably 10. But give me Texas.
Taking Texas.
Oh, J-Bake taking the Gators.
And it depends on Lagway. If Yale starts, no.
Yep.
J-Bake's just everybody's getting upset Saturday.
Jeff, you say Texas?
Yes.
I'm going with Texas.
I hope after what happened to Florida Saturday, because they should have beat Georgia. They were managed in Georgia. And
absolutely.
I hope they do get it. I really do.
They may. All right, 2:30 kickoff.
Napier's got that Mike Shula injury, God luck.
Number 3, Georgia at number 16, Ole Miss. Georgia favored by 2.5.
It's at Ole Miss.
Toddy all night. Oxford's going to be bumping that afternoon since Lane didn't get his night game. He's pissed off about it.
Yep.
No, man. Lane Kiffin has a history of doing this. It used to be Alabama. Ole Miss gets hyped up. Alabama comes to town, beats the brakes off of them. It's going to be Georgia to do it to them this year. Give me the Bulldogs.
How about you, Jeffrey?
I'm taking the Rebels.
Oh. Well, we
chaos.
Herb Street lost Ben. And I've got a soft spot now for puppies. And all I can think about is Lane and Juice Kiffin. I'm taking the Rebels.
Y'all are wrong.
You shut up. You're still
wrong before.
You shut up. We're gonna be
wrong before. It's fine.
Sun's still gonna rise on Sunday.
More like chewed out. I've been chewed out.
All right. All right, number 23, Clemson at Virginia Tech. 2:30 kickoff. Clemson favored by 6.
Give me Tech, baby. Give me the Hokies. Give me Inner Sandman.
I feel like, I thought maybe Jeff was going to get some kind of headgear to put on.
Just freaking turkey hat.
What you got, Jeff?
I'm taking Clemson in that one. I think they bounce back.
Clemson. I'm going with Clemson myself. I don't think Dabo's going to drop this one. All right, this is going to be an interesting game. Number 20, Colorado at Texas Tech. 3 p.m. kickoff. Colorado favored by 4.
I literally know nothing about the Red Raiders this year. I haven't watched them. Colorado has the best player in college football. Give me the Buffs.
Bingo.
Jeff going with the Buffs?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going with Texas Tech.
When in doubt, I always go with the better quarterback.
Yeah,
Unless it's Bama. Then I always pick Bama, though.
I'm not in doubt. 3:15 kickoff in Nashville, South Carolina at Vanderbilt. South Carolina favored by 4.5.
I already know anchor's down, baby.
Yeah, I'm bought in, baby. I'm bought in. I'm a believer. I went and bought me a Vandy jersey.
Did you really?
No.
Oh. I'm taking Vandy.
I am picking the
I'm taking Vandy.
I was wondering what this meant. RR. I was like, okay.
R.
Two T's.
TT.
Is the T close to R? Yeah, the T is close to the R.
Yeah, it's right next to it. They're neighbors.
All right. 6:45 kickoff.
Oh, Red Raiders. Dad, no shit. Sorry, JB. You're right.
Oklahoma at Missouri. Number 24, Missouri. Oklahoma favored by 3.
Give me Missouri.
Is Cook playing?
Who?
Is Brady Cook playing?
Yeah, Brady Cook.
Oh, probably. Yeah, give me Missouri. Either way, dude, Oklahoma has 0 wide receivers.
I'm going with Missouri.
Plus,
that's
I
in Missouri, right?
To win. That shutout looks better if Alabama, if Missouri scores some points. So
give me Mizzou.
Jeff,
I agree with Eric. It depends on the QB, but
it does.
Gotta go Mizzou.
Jeff, I forgot to talk to you about our fantasy football this week. Game that I smoked your ass in.
I'm not familiar with what you're speaking of.
What are these asses that you have smoked, sir?
All I'm saying is our fantasy football league, I'm in first place.
I feel you're paying their way.
I think that was a battle for first place.
I got one at Auburn and one at Alabama.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I think I was in second.
Yeah, I'm in first now. Yeah, now look at us. Here we are. We're gonna have to have a sword fight.
I'm not fighting swords with anybody.
No. All right, number 9, BYU at Utah.
Oh, Jay Walker, hold up.
Hold on.
Whoa. Hey, do we got a fellow Steeler fan in the mix here?
Wait, why the hell are you the only one invited?
Yeah.
Oh.
Chris and I literally used to do a show about bourbon and cigars.
I forgot more about cigars than most people know.
Yeah, I don't care about a brown dick in
what
my
up,
Kangaroo
Black.
KB.
Hey, y'all go check out my dude KB. That man,
KB.
Guys got the most lit show on YouTube. I love it. Thanks for hanging out with us, KB. We love
RDT.
You. Damn time.
KB.
All right.
Hit up Cotton offline, KB. We got to get you on.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. Hit us up, man. We need to get you on. So we can talk.
There's some guest host opportunities coming up.
Yep.
Dude,
sorority dude's
killing me.
I wouldn't let mine join a sorority, man. That's too scary.
I don't blame you.
I'm not ready to be a grandpa.
You know what happens in those houses, don't you?
Easy. It's Lance's daughter we're talking about. Easy.
Hey, I'm just saying.
No, it was my daughters I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, Jay Walker's right outside Acrisure. I call it Heinz Field still, but that's
man. What do we?
How about this? Can I tell you guys something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Help me out here. So
I am coming to Pittsburgh.
I've never been super big in the NFL. I watch it. It's always been hard for me to buy in. Being from Alabama, there's no pro team there. But now that I live in Florida, there's 3 pro teams here, and everybody here is big into the NFL. And I am trying to adopt an NFL team. All right, sweet. Yeah, we'll do, KB. I'm trying to adopt an NFL team, and I'm kind of hung up on where I want to go, but I think I got one in mind.
Who have you got in mind? I know what he's fixing to say.
Tell me, and I'll tell you if you're right or wrong.
He's fixing to say
if
Atlanta.
you say the Jags, he's
going to say Atlanta.
Nah, man. I'm going to go with a team that's good. I'm not stupid.
Okay.
Man, Baltimore, dude, the Ravens.
But you're not in Baltimore.
So my grandfather
come on the show. The Steeler fans are talking about the Ravens,
and I love Edgar Allan Poe.
He's like, now I'm surrounded. You know, he acts like he's in Florida and surrounded by people from Tampa Bay.
He said, "Pick the Jags." No way, I'm picking the Jags, man. They suck.
Oh no, wait, no, they may not suck this weekend.
No,
Trevor Lawrence is making a business decision. He's not playing. Mac Jones. Is that's it right there. I moved to Florida. Go Ravens.
I know what I'm doing, Ravens. I'm here for the
Ravens.
Man, that's like damn people in Alabama cheering for the Steelers. I mean,
that's nowhere near like that.
Just a
Steelers
little.
are 6 rings, baby.
He's like, I'm closer to Pittsburgh than he is to
Steelers
Baltimore.
Got 6 rings, man. Yeah. Ravens got a jack.
I'm surrounded by Saints fans. Surrounded by
miserable.
Yeah.
Well, there's always room in Sixburg. You know, 6 as in 6 Lombardi trophies. There's always room in Sixburg for you, Cotton. So if you want to be lame and go with the Ravens, that's cool too.
I really like.
There's some bands.
He's just saying that because Derrick Henry's running for him.
That's true. It's a good reason, though.
No. If
there's several BAMs on the Ravens, there's a few BAMs on the Steelers too. If you're following BAMs, go the Eagles. They got like 7 former Bama players.
Yeah. I would have gone like Philadelphia or something.
But
a freaking hardball, dude. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Never mind. Disregard. All right, moving on.
Right there where he said tailgate starts at 7. That's why you have so many great videos from outside stadiums at NFL games.
7
because the tailgate.
The Bills are a fun one to follow. Bills Mafia is like no other.
We struggled.
They be choke slamming through tables during their tailgates.
We don't like getting out of bed at 7.
We struggle to fill a stadium for an 11 a.m. kickoff, man. You talk about
real.
Man, you getting these NFLs like Buffalo where there's literally nothing else but that team?
Man, my knees hurt.
I can't afford to go to an NFL game. I can't afford the tickets. It's insane.
Yeah, they're pricey.
We're way off sides.
Yeah.
Hey,
number
of the show.
Number 9, BYU at Utah.
He said the thing. Oh, sorry, Utah. Give me the Utes. Give me the Utes. Somebody's got to have some balls and pick an upset. Give me the Utes.
I can't do that one.
BYU. You going with BYU? I'm going with the Utes.
The Utes screwed me already once this year.
It'll be okay. And the one everybody's waiting on.
Well, hold on. Can we pick? Let's blindly pick Indiana, Michigan for Eric here.
Let's do it.
No spread. I don't know what time the game is, where it is.
Indiana.
Give me Indiana.
Where's the game?
Hold on, I'll find out.
Indiana. I'm picking Indiana.
If it's in Michigan, yes, they have a chance to beat Indiana. Thank you for that.
Is it in Michigan?
I feel it in my plums.
Are we sure about that?
If it's in Michigan, yes, Michigan has a chance. If it's in Indiana,
it's in Indiana. It's in Indiana.
No chance.
LSU.
Okay, give me the Hoosiers. All right, Chris, the big one, the great Daniel Hall,
the big one,
century number 5.
Bama at LSU. Bama favored by 2.5. 6:30 kickoff. We all say Bama.
Do we?
We all say Bama.
You ain't coming on this show picking somebody else. Let
me ask you a question. And this is I'm asking this question because I saw it posed by somebody else in the media. And I thought it was a really dumbass question, but I'm going to ask you guys anyway. Who needs this game more, Kalen DeBoer or Brian Kelly?
Kalen DeBoer.
Really?
I think Kalen DeBoer does.
Kalen DeBoer at this point has to make the playoffs this year.
Why?
Because the fans that are dumbasses will uprise. He needs to go somewhere. Nick Saban. I mean, to hell with that shit. I'm tired of seeing. I'm tired of.
We've had this conversation. Reverse though, as Michael was going, hey, I don't know if he's the guy for the job. It was like week 4.
Whoa, what?
You in a group text in one of your meltdowns during a game, you're like, I don't think he's the right guy for the job. And I was like, whoa, calm down.
Look, I have a bad memory. Y'all don't be taking advantage of that. Did that really happen?
Yes, it happened.
Oh, I was.
There are 3 other witnesses on this group text. That
I'm just so tired of hearing
texts are easily manipulated nowadays. Show me the evidence.
I know that that texts in the flesh in the middle of a frustrating game aren't always.
Which game was
it's almost like being drunk, nothing speaks truth.
Yeah, I don't know because we get some shit like that every game from you.
No, man, I've been solid this year. I've been real solid this year.
Okay.
Even Jeff said on a show not long ago how you guys were exaggerating and that I was the voice of reason in the game.
Yeah.
I think it was the South Carolina game.
I've expected more outlandish meltdowns from you, Michael. But
if Nick Saban was still the head coach, you would get him. You would get him.
Yeah.
Because my expectations would be much higher than they are.
I think had DeBoer not lost to Vandy and maybe lost to South Carolina, there you go. Maybe lost to South Carolina and Tennessee. In close games like that, you could almost say, all right, if he goes on the road and loses this one, not a big deal. But losing the road to Vandy, losing the road to Tennessee, he's got to win a road game. He can't be 0-3 in the two big road games plus. Vandy.
Yeah, I'll also say this: you lost, like you said, you would have lost to two of Alabama's biggest rivals.
Yep.
And look, I get it. Auburn's not that good this year, but you better believe they're going to play lights out. Pat Thorne's going to turn into Tom Brady in the Iron Bowl, and so you have the potential for him to get swept by all, every rival. And so, yeah, I'm with you.
So he's got, man. Brian Kelly's like he's Mr. 10-4. So if he loses Saturday, it'll just be the loss number 3 on his path to 4, like he does every year.
I also think that for them to make that final run at holding this number 1 class together. I'm not saying that losing to LSU would be detrimental to that. I am saying that winning to LSU might secure it.
Hold on. Wait a second.
What?
I found it. Jay Bake wanted to see pictures or it didn't happen.
Shit.
Oh, you're done, Michael.
Right.
Sorry.
We got you, Bubba. Let's see.
All right, it's been a good show.
No, let's see. Hey, come back. Let me. Let's
you
see.
Can't read that. Say it doesn't say anything. It
says,
clearly
God, Michael.
Hey, wait. Hold on. Wait. Let's see. Where is it at?
I don't see a damn
right there in the middle. DeBoer isn't it. Right there. DeBoer isn't
there. It
it
is.
Oh, good God, Michael, chill.
Oh, wow. Wow.
That's okay.
I like to keep receipts.
Or you just don't clear text messages off your phone.
That's it.
That's all right though. Those are in-game feelings. I don't count those as real, truthful feelings.
Turn down your damn right.
Things. Hey, I've fired Nate Oates like 6 times in the last 5 years. Okay, and he's the best coach we've had in ever.
Speaking of Nate Oates, we have a basketball show in the works for you guys. Jeff doesn't know that. He hasn't been privy to that talk, but I'm sure he knew it was coming.
Better be, because I'm a basketball guru here. That was way too funny. That was one of the greatest viral clips of all time.
LSU fan came, stuck his finger in my booty.
My booty.
I didn't realize Bill was an LSU fan.
Oh, old stank finger.
Thanks,
He's still at large, Bama fans. Mind yourself this weekend.
Better cover your booty. We don't know where Bill is.
Yep.
He's out there assaulting anuses. And
yes, Eric, Brian Kelly will be on the hot seat, but the game is more important for DeBoer, I think.
molesting male holes.
What's about the basketball show? Why am I not privy to the basketball show?
Poking pink eyes because it hasn't been fully discussed, and I just made it up on the spot that we're going to do it. So
okay. Friday night basketball we got against Hogesine and Arkansas State.
He's thinking about Bill.
Sorry,
he's thinking about Bill being the anal assassin.
The anal assassin. The rectum ranger.
The butt pirate.
Oh, we can't say butt pirate. That means something else. Bill sent me a whole list of these, man.
You said that's what you were that night you dressed up. I'm
about to hold on. I'm trying to find this list from Bill.
Oh, the list that Bill sent.
Yeah.
Of what
it's actually really good. All of the. Okay, we've got the ass assaulter.
Oh, God.
the buttock bandit, the fecal felon, the rectum renegade, the backdoor brigand, the booty looter. That's good. The gluteal gangster, the haunch hitter, the rear end raider, the fanny forager. That's my personal favorite. Tail toucher, derriere destroyer, posterior plunderer. No, I'm not saying that one. The muddy marauder. the caboose crook, the cheat criminal, and the seat stealer. He's still a large Bama fan. I'll be careful out there this weekend.
Oh, did he? I'd like to thank everybody coming to the last show ever of Waaaay Offsides.
Bill is defending your freedom.
He is. Bill has been deployed.
Yes.
Hey, speaking of that, did Bill send you guys anything before he left?
Okay. Some in my mailbox.
Wait, you didn't get it? You didn't get one?
What? Tell me what you got. Was it the coin?
Yeah.
Ever see that office?
Oh, yes, I got a coin.
No, that thing in Michael's office? They didn't know what it was?
Michael's like, he's like,
you mean the thing?
I got real jealous real fast.
The thing that Todd Packer left in your middle of your garage.
I had to pull my carpet up and everything. Crazy. That's good. Oh, Bill, just a tip. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. We will be here Saturday after football is played. I know we say that a lot and sometimes don't show up. We're going to do a better job about that. Our monetization.
We apologize that we haven't been here in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we honestly, I think we all just needed a little bit of a break. So more content is coming. We also remonetize on the 14th of the month. So yay, that'll be fun. But as always, before we go, please like, subscribe, share, comment, like this specific video, hit the notification bell so you never miss a live, a short, an upload. If you are on Twitter, we're very active there. You can find us at Waaaay Offsides, Cotton, Waaaay Offsides, Jeff, Waaaay Offsides, Chris, and Waaaay Offsides Bill. I have talked to Bill about the political stuff so many times that he doesn't need to post it under our brand name, but he still does. So just mute him. It's fine. Chris and I are on TikTok as well under the same usernames. We'll be doing some lives there coming up soon. Yeah, so that's about it. We appreciate each and every one of you. We absolutely adore you. As always, say your prayers, read your Bibles, wash your hands, beat Auburn and LSU and Tennessee too. Horns down. Rolleth Tide.
Roll in that.